Today, the moon continues in Virgo, where, among other things, we think about what it means to be of service. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Wednesday, August 7th. And we have, of course, Mercury retrograde in Virgo, Venus, the planet of beauty and love and values, and what we find pleasing and pleasurable, as well as what brings value into our lives, right? The tangible and the intangible. So, what we value because it brings more love into our lives, but also things like money, things that are of tangible value, not just money, but any kind of physical value. And then of course the moon continuing here for another full day in Virgo. So early Thursday morning, the moon will shift into Libra, but meanwhile, we continue this work of the details of Virgo. So what does it look like to get lost in the details, to work on the minutia of what it takes to make something happen? And so yesterday we were talking about just the pleasure of getting lost in the details during a creative process, right? And how we can really fine tune things and get into the weeds in that way that can actually contribute to making something more beautiful, more perfect, without being a perfectionist, but letting it be better, right? Finding ways to improve upon whatever it is we are putting our efforts into. So, Virgo also has to do with health and improving our physical wellness, our physical well-being, and balance in our health, our bodies, as well as in our lives. In terms of what we can work on, right? What we can do better at. And so that doesn't mean that we're doing anything wrong or that we are wrong in the first place. It just means, hey, this is the human journey of discovering how I can learn through this process and continue to improve, and ultimately thinking about how the efforts we are putting into our creative work, our things that we're making, our things that we're making tangible and bringing into the world, how that can be useful, helpful, and of service to others. So this is really the beautiful thing about Virgo energy is that it gives us the ability to continue to support our ongoing, lives and wealth and health and happiness, I guess. So thinking about in the bigger picture, what is the creative journey? What are you working on creating? What is your creative process or your need to express yourself creatively? And where do you need to learn or improve or learn some technical skills, right? Get down into the weeds to support your ability to be creative and express yourself because you have the tools. So, depending on what your craft is, if you are a chef or a writer or a musician, right? Depends on what you are, but all of them have their building blocks, so to speak, of the technical skills and abilities it takes to be the best you can at that. So thinking about how we can put effort into that and improve, and health and our physical wellness is one way that we are learning, right? We are learning about how to take care of ourselves, learning about what it means and looks like to do our self-care and to build upon, you know, health and moving in the direction of greater wellness. So, how does your journey, your creative process, your healing process, your discovery about who you are and how you can contribute, how does that become something that can help others, that can be useful, be helpful, be of benefit, of service? So, when you are working on your creative process, building the foundations, building some of the skills you need, learning some of the tools and tricks and tips that are going to help you be the best you can be, think about the people you are serving, the people whose lives you are impacting. If you're making music, who is hearing the music, right? Who and how does it impact them? And what does it make possible? And how does it create a mood or a feeling? And how does that mood or feeling help people become more whole, more healthy, more happy, more filled with a sense of possibility? And that continues and perpetuates the creative process. So that's what we want to think about with our energy. Our vibe for today is how we can be useful, helpful, and of service, how the things we're learning and the ways we're improving and developing our skills and ability to do our creative work, how that is going to make a difference. Even when you're, making a meal for someone, and the way that you can put love into that meal, quality ingredients, time spent, letting the flavors develop, right? What are the skills and tools and tips and tricks that you are learning, and how does that benefit someone else, either through them getting to eat the food you have created, or the things you created in your garden, maybe, or maybe through you sharing your recipes, your things that you've learned, offering. So, just in general, thinking about how what you have learned can be helpful or useful to someone else, how your process, your journey can be of service. And that brings meaning to our lives. Toward the end of the moon's time in Virgo, it will oppose Neptune in Pisces. So, again, we are bringing that divine energy, that spiritual, transcendent, bigger picture of meaning. We are bringing it into the earth plane through our hands, our earth, our bodies, our environments, anything physical and tangible. So, how you are bringing in that bigger picture of love, of joy, of happiness, of possibility, of healing, of hope, right? How are you bringing that through what you're discovering about your own creative process, and thinking about how that impacts others, and how you can, uh, engage in that experience of doing something, having someone benefit from it, and just thinking that way, right? You're doing it for a reason. There's a purpose to it, and it doesn't have to be, anything grand or 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 unattainable. It's just like, what is that tangible impact that you can imagine? What does that look like and feel like, and connecting? With that, of course, we're in the Leo moon cycle, so we're focusing on creativity and self-expression and developing this sense of how we best create from our truth, from our authenticity. So that can be your focus of self-care for today. And then once the moon shifts into Libra, we will be thinking more about relationship, collaboration, and how to bring in the sharing aspect of a creative process and co-creating with someone else or a group, or whatever that looks like for you. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms, You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. Thanks for being here and subscribing. Thanks for sharing your creative process. I love hearing about your journey and what you're learning about and focusing on. So thanks for sharing, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.